Hello, horror addicts. It's Kristen Battistella, Kbatz here, coming to you from the windy Mount Holly Book Fair. We were prepared for sunshine, too much sunshine, and now instead we're caught with a lot of wind. But that's okay. We're going to brave it to talk books. J.L. Brown is with me now. Jen. Hi. You write urban fantasy.
Urban fantasy.
Okay. Tell us about your book.
So The Burning Arbor is centered in upstate New York, small conservative town. The main character is a young witch. She's just turning 22. Yes, lots of witchcraft, lots of magic. And she is notorious for butting heads with the mayor in the town, the reverend in the town. The mayor is looking to run for higher office, and having this kind of saucy witch in her small town doesn't really do well for her campaign. So so they basically go on a modern day witch hunt to drive her and her family out of town.
Woo! Now, you set this in upstate New York,
Yes.
but we are in Mount Holly. And you live in the area.
I do.
The area itself is known for some witchy things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I personally read tarot as well.
Oh, okay.
So Mount Holly does the annual Witches Ball. So I've read tarot at a few of the Witches Balls here. There's also the Mount Holly prison, which is very very haunted and is notorious as well for having the only witch hanging in Mount Holly was actually at the prison down there.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors, a lot of tall tales, but a few facts.
Yes.
But you've always grown up here?
In the county, but I've been in Mount Holly for 13 years now.
Oh, well, that's fitting. 13 as well.
There you go.
Okay, and that's what did all the mystic kind of style here draw you to the area?
I love the town, the feel of the town. It's the witchy stuff is just a bonus. but yeah, so but the Burning of Arbor is the first. It'll be a 5-book series. Each one focusing on an element. So we have the burning. This book 2 I'm working on now is will be focused on water. With that one, it's actually new magic coming in, other groups of witches entering the town. So my
rivalries.
Exactly. My main character is a bit of a butting heads going on in the next book.
Did you lay out your whole series?
Roughly. I had the first book I knew was going to be the first in the series, but I'm a pantser.
So I was going to say, an outliner or by the pantser?
Yeah, I'm a pantser. I have a general gist of where I want things to go, and hopefully chapter by chapter hit.
But does that get you in trouble when you're writing?
Oh, quite a bit. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. But I love the editing process. So actually, I think that's where all the good stuff happens. So I kind of got everything out the first draft and then went back and just spent a lot of time with each chapter and pulling things together.
Did you have to do a lot of research and different documentation and confirmation?
Sure, absolutely. The history of witchcraft that I focus on in this book is the La Strega, Italian folk magic. And each book will also have sort of a focus on the fact that all of these different cultures have their own magical backgrounds. So this one deals with the La Strega Italian background. The next one has Druid history as well. Then the next will deal with Egyptian.
But it all takes place in contemporary,
contemporary time.
New York.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, I'm off the camera. We get too excited. We just start giggling and talking about witches, and we get carried away.
It's all good stuff.
Now, but is the tarot also part of your novel?
Not. The funny thing is, no. That's the one thing that's not in the novel. I mean, we have one of the characters does scrying. Another one of the witches in it is a healer, so she deals with herbs and things like that. That also had a lot of research that went into sort of the herbs, some of the spell work and things like that. I wrote most of the spells in there, but there's some chants in the book that anyone who's ever dabbled in magic at all or in witchcraft at all will recognize some of the chants that are pretty common. But all the spell work is my own. and then I actually just one of the portions in the book, I wrote an Italian ballad. And a friend of mine is a singer-songwriter in Italy, so he actually went and took it and turned it into a real song.
Wow.
So that was fun. So I got to put out an original song with it.
The Burning Arbor is the first one.
Right, the Burning Arbor.
Where is that available?
So that is available on pretty much everywhere. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, pretty much everywhere.
I mean, are we going to have like audiobook with new interactive music and scrying and spells?
Yeah. The funny thing is I've been hounded by my mother and my grandfather to put an audiobook out. So I actually may do that. But no, not yet. Right now it's just the one.
J.L. Brown is your author name.
Correct.
But you brought up Italianness. I have to ask Italianness. Do you have that Italian in your family?
Yeah, my mother's maiden name's DeFabio. So.
Oh, okay. Now that's why I'm called the Kbatz here at Horror Addicts, because we realized this Battistella is just too complicated, too difficult for people to pronounce. But that's okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
okay.
DeFabio is the family name.
So then, how did you choose to have each series focus on a different the Strega and then Druidry? And
I think it's interesting that pretty much every culture spanning the globe has some kind of background in magic. Not always witchcraft, but magic in some form. And I love that. I love that no matter where you go, there's this great history. And so it intrigues me. My husband is Irish, so I thought, all right, well let's I'm setting the next book in sort of that Northern Ireland area. So I'm hitting the Druids next.
And your series is more about the good magics and then the contemporary kind of conflicts.
It is. One thing that I focus on is the fact that there is no dark magic. It's all
Dark
about
magic,
how
that's what
the person, the intention of the practitioner. So the magic is magic. It's just all where we bring it.
And you've done all your tarot here.
Yeah, I did tarot here at Mount Holly, but then I also, when I go, my husband's a musician, so when we go to festivals and events and things like that, I'll read tarot at different festivals and events. So.
Okay. Have you ever, in your tarot, come across something where it's like, I don't want to do this reading now. This is too much.
Not that I don't want to do the reading, but yeah, I definitely there's times when it's like, oh, I have to be very careful with how I put this forward. Some people are understandably skittish when they sit down to get a reading, so it's important to smooth things out, be calm, and help them understand without freaking them out too much.
But I mean, do you find sometimes there's like conflict when people are getting they're into like new agey, or they're very kind of shallow roots into it, and there's a lot of how do you dispel those misnomers?
I think it's a matter of being genuine, letting people know that you're reading the cards, you're reading what they say, you're not just sort of winging it. I think all too often people kind of come with a preconceived idea of what to expect. And I read a lot of different types of tarot cards, so I think sometimes what's nice is I let people usually choose what deck, and that helps too. It kind of makes them feel connected with whatever with whatever deck, whatever reading that you're going to give. It gives them a little sense of control that they get to pick their cards.
So when you were putting all the magic on the page, was that more of a therapeutic kind of process? Was it a little scary?
No, I love it. I mean, once you start getting, the first chapter was rough, and I think I must have redone that first chapter 85 times. But once the story started flowing, it is therapeutic. I don't find magic scary, but at the same time, adding that sort of thrill into the book is a lot of fun. But personally, I'm good. I don't get scared very easily. I don't scare easily.
Oh, good. We like that here at Horror Addicts, don't we?
I don't scare easily.
This is a 5-book series. Your first one is out now. Amazon everywhere.
Yes. Yes. It's my publisher's 9 Star Press.
Oh, okay.
And they focus on books with LGBT characters. So my main character is bisexual. There's at least another 6 characters in the book that are either gay, lesbian,
we've had a couple conversations on Horror Addicts about like the monster erotica, like all the beastly paranormal, the way that like the pansexual seems to be like the new thing.
Yeah. What's neat with this is that it's a part of the story. It's not necessarily the aim or the focus of the story. This is just part of who my main character is. And so, of course, for the small conservative town she lives in, it doesn't just adding
norms,
that with the witchcraft.
Norms.
You know?
We don't like norms.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So when you add, let's see, bisexual witch. Little conservative towns, not really
problem.
Yeah,
problematic.
Not really digging that.
Is your second book finished?
No, I'm about 3/4 of the way through the first draft. So yeah, it'll take quite a bit more to get it worked on. But
That's been more difficult than the first.
well, I think it's a learning process. Writing a second book, I'm still learning how to pull, the settings of the first book, the characters, how to pull them forward. I know where they're going to go. It's just getting them there.
Would it have been easier if you had an outline, if you weren't a pantser?
I don't know. It stresses me out doing the outlines, and I get more. It stresses me out. I would rather just get at the computer and just let it flow. And once it does, some days, the rough days, I get a page out, but normally if I can get a couple hours in, I'm looking at 5, 6, 7, 8 pages, just flying out. So I'm good. Yeah,
You're good.
The outlines are just too much for me. It's too nerve-wracking. I can't do
Now,
it.
I would find it incredibly nerve-wracking. I would need some magic to get me through going through 5 books, through a 5-book series without planning.
Yeah.
I could not do that.
Like I said, I have rough outlines. I know where we're headed with each book. But as of right now, I just like to wing it.
She likes to wing
I
it.
like to wing it.
J.L. Brown, it's the Burning Arbor.
The Burning Arbor.
And your website, where we can
It's
find you?
jlbrownbooks.com, and then I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, so you can find me there.
Well, thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back
Bye, everybody.
shortly, horror addicts.